What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you my updated skincare routine that is 100% fungal acne safe. At least I'm pretty sure it's 100% fungal acne safe. I've been trying to be really diligent about checking all of the ingredients in my products because I feel like my skin kind of plateaued a little bit, and I was noticing that like most of my fungal acne had gone away, but like then I would get breakouts sometimes. So I think my skin still has a malassezia overgrowth and kind of sensitivity to certain ingredients that might trigger it more. So I've been trying to be really diligent about what products I use, and honestly I feel like my skin is the best it's been in like 2 years. You can definitely see some like unevenness in my skin tone, but overall I haven't really had any breakouts in a super long time. And honestly, the fungal acne, which I personally usually get on my forehead, has been pretty controlled. My hyperpigmentation has lightened a lot in my opinion, and I'm just dealing with a couple of stubborn spots and just focusing on hydration. So I'm really excited to actually film my routine because I've gotten a lot of new products recently that I've been really excited about, because sometimes it can be frustrating and like just hard to find products that are safe for fungal acne. If you're new to my channel or you don't know much about fungal acne is just kind of like a nickname. It's kind of easier to say than like what the actual conditions are. So this is kind of embarrassing because I feel like I've done so much research, but I've just kind of like glossed over certain details. But I'm pretty sure the like scientific condition for fungal acne is usually malassezia folliculitis, and malassezia is the fungus that can grow a lot. Like I think everyone's skin has malassezia in it, but if there is like too much of it, then that's what can cause these like itchiness and breakouts that are like kind of under the skin and not really treatable with normal acne fighting ingredients. There are a couple of other related skin conditions, but I think malassezia folliculitis is kind of the most common one. I'm not sure if it's like an overarching one, but it's generally what I search for when I'm like looking for fungal acne safe ingredients. But basically there's a lot of ingredients that feed fungal acne. So a lot of the oils and like fatty acids that are in your moisturizers and a lot of just skincare and makeup products in general, those can actually feed fungal acne. So it can be really depressing to kind of look at everything you're using and realize that like almost everything you use is not fungal acne safe. But I'm here to tell you that there are lots of exciting products that you still can use, and what I've been doing to be able to keep my skin nicely hydrated and moisturized without being able to use all these oils and stuff. My skincare routine has actually changed quite a bit recently as well, but I thought it would be nice to actually film one in the morning and just kind of go through everything that I alternate between. It's obviously the morning because my voice is not ready for talking. Okay, so the first step of my morning skincare routine is that I actually do not wash my face with cleanser in the morning. I just feel like that kind of dries out the skin unnecessarily, and my skin isn't too, I guess, like dirty. I have pretty dry skin, and so it's not like I'm producing a lot of oils and stuff that I feel like I need to clean up in the morning. So it's mostly just kind of getting rid of like dirt and stuff. So I do rinse my face with water, and then what I like to do is just go in with some kind of toner. I've always been using the Thayers Witch Hazel Aloe Vera Formula Toner. And I'll just take a like nice thin cotton pad like this and just apply toner as normal, but I really try to focus on like wiping away any dirt and anything that like might be left on my face. So I just wet the cotton pad like this and kind of just wipe over everywhere on your face. It's always a good step. I've always used toner, and I really like to use it just because I feel like anytime you wash your face and stuff, it can kind of feel a little stripped and dry. So it's just a nice kind of first step to getting your skin prepped. I also like to take it down my neck and my chest, and then we're good. Okay, so for the following steps, I usually switch around quite a bit. I will show you some of the like active kind of ingredients that I alternate between. This one I don't really use in the morning very much, but I do have an AHA that I will use sometimes. This is actually something that I don't use as often as I used to, because I realized pretty late that most of my acne scars are not hyperpigmentation. I think they're more of post-inflammatory erythema. They're more red. So actually there isn't a like great way to fight PIE. So I do have an AHA just because I feel like it's good to kind of clean up any of the dead skin cells that are on your skin, but I don't use this as frequently as I thought I might use to, just because I feel like my main concern is healing my acne scars, and if you over exfoliate your skin, that can actually irritate it more and cause the redness to be more prevalent. So this one is a 100% Fungal Acne-Safe AHA, and it is the Stratia Soft Touch AHA, which has 10% mandelic acid. Mandelic acid is actually one of the more gentle chemical exfoliants compared to glycolic acid and lactic acid. I think the cells are a bit larger, so they don't penetrate as deeply into your skin, and therefore it's a bit more gentle. So I do like this. It has a really nice gel formula that's easy to spread over the skin. But like I said, I don't really use this very much in the morning. I tend to go for this at night. I would probably use it like maybe once a week. In the morning, what I've kind of been focusing on is using the Mad Hippie Vitamin C Serum. This one doesn't have the L-ascorbic acid. It's a vitamin C derivative. So it's actually a lot more stable than L-ascorbic acid and a bit more gentle on the skin. So I wouldn't mind using this every day, though I usually don't, just because I like to spread out my actives and kind of give my skin a break a little bit in between. I also sometimes use a 10% Azelaic acid serum. This one is by Garden of Wisdom, and it is Fungal Acne-Safe, which is awesome. I haven't noticed a huge difference with this product. I know a lot of people have said that Azelaic acid helps a lot with their PIE, so I'm going to continue using this and hope it helps. But yeah, it definitely doesn't cause me any irritation or anything, so I'm just going to use this bottle up and see if I notice a big difference. And lastly, a product that I use a lot is this Skinlex 10% Niacinamide Serum. This one is also Fungal Acne-Safe, and I love it. I've been using this product probably for the longest out of a lot of the other products in my skincare routine, and I feel like when I first started using this product, I noticed a huge difference in my skin. I just felt like I noticed that the acne scars were fading quite a bit and my pores were super small. If you have large pores, I highly recommend trying a niacinamide serum because I find that it works really well. I don't know, I don't think niacinamide is really classified as like a active ingredient, but I do kind of keep it in the same step and usually use it on like a day where I just want to give my skin a break. So I think today I'm just going to go ahead and use my vitamin C serum. The texture on this one is really nice and kind of thin, so I feel like it absorbs really nicely and easily. None of the products that I use really like pill up or anything, which is awesome. And I use a decent amount of this just because I feel like you don't need to really skimp on your skincare products unless they're like very potent. And then it absorbs pretty quickly, but I will just go ahead and pat it to make sure it's fully absorbed and it's no longer super sticky. I mean, not that it's very sticky, but you know, you can feel when the product is absorbed. After I use my active ingredient is when I go in with the hydration. Lately, I've really been liking incorporating this Propolis Ampoule by Leegeehaam into my routine. Leegeehaam is a Korean skincare brand. This bottle is super tiny and it was not cheap either, but I feel like it's a gorgeous product and I really like what it does for my skin. When I also first started using this, I feel like I noticed a difference in my skin pretty immediately, which is kind of insane. So I like to just put a couple of drops in on my face to give it some extra hydration, and the texture on this is really nice. I used to use the Skin Food Honey Propolis, and I feel like that one was a little bit, I don't know. It's hard to say because this one feels a bit thinner, but when you actually spread it out on the skin, it feels so like not, it feels like it just has a bit of thickness to it that's really kind of coating your skin and really being able to nourish it. So I do like the texture on this one a lot. Again, I just put a couple of drops all over my face and then pat it in to make sure it's nicely absorbed. I actually probably should have used a product before this, but I recently got the Klairs Supple Preparation Unscented Toner, and I love this. I was really excited to find that this toner was fungal acne safe, and ever since I got it, I've been loving it because I feel like it's the perfect step that I needed in my skincare routine to just kind of add in extra moisture, because these two products are pretty new to me, and before that I was really relying on my hyaluronic acid serum to add that moisture, but it wasn't quite enough in the winter. So now that we're finally into spring a bit more, I do feel like my skin doesn't need quite as much help, but incorporating these two into my skincare routine really amp up the hydration in my skin. Now that the propolis is absorbed, I'm going to go ahead and layer on this toner. I feel like this would be a nice one to actually do the 7 skin method, because I mean, actually maybe it's a little too thick for that, but if you can see, it has a bit more viscosity. I would say the Thayers texture is very similar to water, whereas this one definitely has a bit more viscosity to it, and it just feels a lot more hydrating. I would say just kind of put some all over the skin, pat it in, make sure you get your nose, and I like to take it down my neck as well. Honestly, this step is probably overkill now, but I do still like to go in with my Hada Labo Premium Hyaluronic Acid Serum. I think it's like the Gokujyun Premium, and this is a great product because it has a bunch of different sizes of hyaluronic acid, and it also has urea, which is great for fungal acne because it is moisturizing, and I think it is also a keralytic agent, which I believe kind of helps the texture tendency to cause bumps and stuff on your skin. My skin is feeling super hydrated right now, and I love it. So I'm just gonna kind of let that sink in a little bit more, and then we're gonna seal it off with moisturizer. The one I have been using is the Hada Labo Skin Plumping Gel Cream, and the texture on this is super interesting. It's just like a very, I would say, thick kind of gel. It is exactly what the name says it does. It really plumps the skin. The only thing I would say about this is that it does leave the skin a bit sticky, and I think that's what I read a lot of people's complaints are. But honestly, that doesn't really bother me. I really like this product because I just feel like it's actually nicely moisturizing, and it just plumps up my skin so much, and I think it's totally worth it. And it actually layers quite well under makeup because I think it's a little sticky, you know? It's like a primer. I decided to try using a different moisturizer the other morning, and I'll just actually pull it out. I tried using the CeraVe baby cream as kind of the last step as the occlusive, and I thought it would work well, but my dry skin does not like this. I feel like when I put it on, it just kind of mattifies my skin and almost makes me feel like I'm wiping away all of the hydration that I just tried to layer on. After I used that cream and put on my makeup, I saw a bunch of dry flakes on my skin, and I don't have that problem at all when I use the Hada Labo Skin Plumping Cream. It does take a bit to kind of settle in, but I feel like, yeah, it's pretty good right now, and I think it would be perfect for makeup. So I do want to say that I had been pretty religiously using squalane oil in the winter up until now, because I feel like it just really gave me that extra hydration and moisture that I needed. But I noticed that I was still kind of having some texture on my forehead. After doing more research, I realized that squalane, or any kind of oil paired with an ingredient called arginine, combines to form an ingredient that is bad for fungal acne. It feeds fungal acne. For a while, I've been trying to kind of separate certain products and just use squalane oil in the morning, and then use my other products that contain arginine at night. But it just was kind of a headache, to be honest, and I felt like I wasn't being able to layer my products the way I wanted to in order to get all the hydration that I wanted. So after I got my new skincare products like this Propolis oil and the Klairs toner, I feel like I don't really need the squalane oil anymore. So yeah, that is something to watch out for if you're fungal acne prone. I know a lot of my Fungal Acne-Safe skincare products contain arginine, so even though squalane oil is like a great oil and it's safe for fungal acne, you probably want to keep those separated if your skin is super sensitive. Right now that the moisturizer is pretty sunken in, I'm going to go ahead with sunscreen. I've actually been using this one, the Skin Aqua UV Super Moisture Milk. This one is SPF 50 PA++++. What I like about this one is that it's a Japanese sunscreen that's beautifully formulated, but it doesn't contain any alcohol, so it won't dry out my skin. But I also recently picked up this one in Korea. It's the Ampoule Subuji Sun Cotton SPF 50 plus PA++++. So they're both the same level of protection. The texture is pretty different. The Skin Aqua UV Super Moisture Milk is a bit runny and milky, like a lot of Japanese sunscreens, and then this Subuji one is more like a lightweight moisturizer, I would say. I'm not really sure which one I prefer. I think they're both quite nice. I do sometimes wonder if I'm using enough of the Skin Aqua Super Moisture Milk on my face, just because it's so spreadable and it kind of feels like you're evenly coating your face, but you're not actually using that much product. So that worries me a little bit, and I try to keep in mind that I need to apply a good amount of this in order to achieve the full protection. Whereas this one, I feel like it's a bit thicker and you kind of automatically use more to spread it across your whole face. I think today I'll just go ahead and try out this Subuji one again. This one has a bit of a scent to it. It like smells like a typical sunscreen, which is kind of interesting. It smells a bit floral, but also like lemony. I'm not really sure. I'm super bad at describing scents. It is a pretty like white cream, which seems kind of scary, but it actually rubs out quite nicely. I don't think this, I'm not sure if this one contains any titanium dioxide. I think it's a fully chemical sunscreen, but I do really like the chemical sunscreens from Asia just because they're more elegant than physical sunscreens that you can find in the US, and they aren't as sensitizing as the chemical sunscreens in the US. So I try to put a good layer. What I realized is I think in the past I kind of neglected the perimeter of my face, and I get a lot of moles, and I also have freckles, and so I have a lot of moles that are like kind of on this side of my face and like the perimeter down here. I think also like when I'm driving and when I'm going out and my hair is like kind of pushed back, the sun just kind of beats down in this area. I would say this sunscreen is a bit better for like combination to normal dry skin. I probably wouldn't recommend this if you have oily skin, just because it feels a little bit heavier and it's kind of not sticky, but like you can definitely feel it on the skin. It's not quite as like lightweight and traceless as this UV Super Moisture Milk, but I do kind of like the creaminess of this product. So yeah, that is it for my morning skincare. I hope this video was exciting because I had a lot of new products to show you guys that I don't think I've shown on my channel very much before. I've pretty much emptied this Aloe Propolis Soothing Gel, but I still do like to use this. I have a backup. I've also emptied the like Benton Snail Essence, which I enjoyed. I have been using those products for like more than a year probably, so I'm really excited to kind of incorporate these new products that I'm excited about that are also fungal acne safe. So I know in a couple of my previous skincare videos I've talked about products that aren't fungal acne safe, but everything in this video should be fungal acne safe. I think I might make a separate video on like resources for people who are fungal acne prone, because I feel like I just constantly discover new things that kind of help me with my flow of figuring out the ingredients of products and stuff like that. So if you'd like to see that video, please let me know. But otherwise, leave any questions or comments down below and I will be sure to get back to you. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one.